I keep the lights on when I leave, just in case you wanna see me. Come over, I'm on one, not sober, I'm on one.
Matthew Stafford is a top 6 quarterback in the league. What has he done besides throw jump balls to Calvin Johnson? What has he done? He's got a new uniform now? So they're going to put him at number 8? Matthew Stafford out the list. Just take him out the list and you can throw Kirk Cousins there. Even at number 10. I'd still put him above. No, I'll leave him at number 10.
You walk in, you're going to sit here and tell me you pick Kirk Cousins over Matthew Stafford to come out of the goddamn tunnel with you, Borba? Are we being serious?
Yeah, dude. Matthew Stafford hasn't really beat.
That's like that Max Killer
Vikings like twice.
Matthew Stafford has kept an entire organization from being sold out of Detroit. The city of Detroit lives on Matthew Stafford. They eat because of Matthew Stafford. They still have the lion as a logo because of Matthew Stafford. That's slander that you're putting on him, Borba, just to defend Kirk Cousins? What are we doing?
No.
Can't make me miss her, no way. Can't make me miss her, no way, hey. Can't make me miss her, no way. I keep the lights on when I leave, just in case you wanna see me. Come over, I'm on one, not sober, I'm on one. Get closer, I'm on one. I keep the lights on when I leave, just in case you wanna see me. Come over, I'm on one, not sober, I'm on one. Get closer, I'm on one, yeah.
Good morning, or actually good afternoon. It's 2:31 Mountain Standard Time here in Roswell, New Mexico. I just realized I am in the wrong fucking seat, so let me correct myself. All right, here we are. Sorry, guys, I was in the wrong seat. I witnessed a Minnesota's Viking game where the quarterback did not line up under center where he was supposed to. Most people would probably say that is very Borba-like. I would say correct. When it comes to the football, you would think a man with that type of IQ in Kirk Cousins, he would know what was going on, but he seemed confused. But that's the top 5 that John Borba continues to talk about, or top 6 in the words that come out of his mouth. He goes top 6, but then he said top 7 before, and then he said top 8, then he said top 9. He's even thrown in top 11, maybe even top 14. I'm not sure. I'm confused. I'm a little bit confused on where Borba wants to put him. I'm curious to see where he does want to put him after this last game. I know he's put up post where he talks about how this quarterback is top 5, top 4, never top 5 nor top 10, nothing like that. Never inside those columns there in the quarterback tier. But JB, you got to help me out here. You got to help me understand where you think this guy is the guy. And have you lost confidence in the guy? Is he still the guy? Is he your guy? Is he our guy? Is he part of the show guy? Is he just a failed cereal box guy? And if you don't catch that joke, go look up Kirk Cousins cereal box. Seems like a failure, because if you don't get it, then that's obviously part of the joke, yeah? So let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings 49ers game. What a fucking disappointment if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan. The bright side to being a Minnesota Vikings fan here is that the NFC East on the back end of it is so bad that they can still somehow get in. When you look at their schedule, they have not the toughest schedule remaining, but they do still have to play the Green Bay Packers one more time. And then I believe, they got to play Pittsburgh, I think. So depending on what you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are, and in my eyes, they're nothing more than Big Ben retirement. But I will talk about that in just a few seconds. Let me just talk about this terrible ass Minnesota Vikings team that I continue to hear about, how the wins are going to come in week after week after week. And I sit here every Sunday and I wait for the wins to come in. I've only seen very few. And here's my thing with the Minnesota Vikings, where I'm confused and where Borba tells me that this is the top 5 quarterback. And he did post about that. And then Brendan Johnson's comment, friend of the show, he has said before, he said, well, let's see how he's going to do when Dalvin Cook isn't there. And I think we saw that. I think we saw what he's capable of. And the thing is you don't want the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands to go win you games. I think that's one thing we've learned. I think that's one thing we continue to learn. And it's kind of like what they're having in Cleveland right now. It's just they're so confused. They're so wrapped up around the contract conversations and the money that Minnesota's already given out to Kirk Cousins. So it's almost like they are forced to buy in. Like even though you don't want to, even though you know he's not the answer, you're forced to buy in because he's there and he's not going to go anywhere. So like right now, Borba points at the coaching, right? But is the coaching the problem? Are they being too conservative? Are they not allowing him to sling it? Or is it just the fact that they don't have the confidence in him to sling it? Shout out my little sister who's going to coach her first high school basketball game, freshman team in Carlsbad today. So shout out my sister. I'm a Lady Rockets. Let's go get a dub today. But is he the answer? No, I think they continue to answer that week after week after week. And then Borba comes and pulls out these bullshit statistics at some point, statistics don't matter, right? At what point do we use statistics? I mean, we can use statistics to defend anything. I mean, we see it now, right? In politics, they can defend either side, left side, right side, middle side, bright side, dark side. Any side is able to defend their thought process because you can go and find any type of research or any type of statistics that are going to defend that narrative. And in this case, that's what JB's doing. He's trying to find that element that's going to it's almost like think of Kirk Cousins as, let's just call him the vaccine. Yeah. Like kind of works, doesn't work, maybe doesn't work, but it helps, but it doesn't always help. Or does it? Don't know. Don't care. Right. But he's not the answer. So I guess that was a terrible comparison by me. Where the hell am I going with that? Kirk Cousins is awful. There's no way to explain it. He's not good. He's nothing more than a really good backup quarterback in my eyes. And I think the faster Johnny Boy realizes that, the better he's going to feel going forward. Because as of right now, and his mindset should just be like, okay, let's just figure it out. Let's rebuild from the back forward. Because they got the weapons. They got Adam Thielen, they got Justin Jefferson, they got Dalvin Cook to go off of. They got a decent defense somewhat. Sometimes can't really stop a nosebleed, couldn't stop a nosebleed. They knew exactly what San Francisco was going to do. Vincent came on the show Sunday morning and told us they are going to pound the ball down their fucking mouth with Deebo Samuel. Better be scared because he's coming on his bike, and that's exactly what he did. He came in and balled out. But Deebo Samuel's out now, so that's another conversation for the 49ers. What are the 49ers without their best weapon? Is Jimmy G going to be able to still be creative? Are they going to be able to be creative with the offense? Or is Jimmy G? We know he's peaked, right? We know Jimmy G's peaked. So what is the 49ers ceiling? The 49ers ceiling, I think they can still get in the playoffs. They're in the toughest division in the league. You might argue that given what the Rams showed yesterday, what a display of just a shit show for them. I think Green Bay Packers may be the best team in the league. Are they? They got a lot of injuries that eventually are going to have to get cleaned up. Can they get cleaned up? Will they still be the best team in the league when they're healthy? You got to assume they are. You got to assume they will be. Aaron Rodgers with that toe may get surgery, is what they said this morning, and he still won't. They're expecting him back right away, which is kind of crazy, which is kind of cool, though, because you don't want the MVP of the league sitting out too many games. But good thing for the Green Bay Packers, they have a fucking bye coming up. Let's just tune up the mood here.
Cheers and bet.
Cheers and bet. I don't know that my bets were that great, and actually they really weren't. I thought the Rams were going to beat the Green Bay Packers yesterday. I just thought that injuries. My take on the whole injuries thing, trying to find an excuse for my Dallas Cowboys. I guess the injury take is bullshit because Tom Brady he's fighting injuries on that offense over there. Of course, the defense for Tampa Bay did finally show up for them. I don't know how much they showed up, but they showed up when it mattered. That's what matters. And that's the thing with the new defenses nowadays. It's not a matter of how many. It's not a matter about just completely being elite. It's about being elite in the situations that matter down the stretch on those back maybe 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when things start to get tight. And we saw that. Carson Wentz, Kevin put it in the comments, run the damn ball. A guy in the stands had it out in that game in the hat saying, run the damn ball. Everybody in Indianapolis might as well have just chanted, run the damn ball. It doesn't make sense. You have an MVP running back. Can you fucking imagine if the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, right now he's hurt, of course, but if they didn't run the ball, if Tennessee didn't run the ball, and we know what Tennessee does, they run the ball in the first half and they wear down that defense, and then slowly the holes start to open up for Tennessee. They don't get away with it because they know what their bread and butter is. They know how to get to the dance. and it's all off of Derrick Henry's back. But yes, somehow, some way, that message has not been related to a team that's been in the same division as them for years and years and years. So can someone please go and relay that message to the Indianapolis Colts that you have an MVP fucking running back and you're not utilizing him? How in the world does that even make sense to anybody? It doesn't make sense to myself, a guy that just sits here and drinks beer and talks shit about football. It doesn't make sense to me. So maybe we need to dumb it down for us idiots in this world. Maybe just dumb it down just a little bit. Maybe do something simple. Maybe you have a running back MVP that you're not using. I'm serious. Can you imagine Derrick Henry not being used in the game? Can you imagine how livid that fan base would be? Can you imagine how crazy the talk shows would go on verbal? Can you imagine? This is all on Frank Wright, I think. The Colts lost this game because of Frank Wright. And I get it. A lot of people are going to say, well, the run was getting stopped. Vita Vea was going off. Vita Vea was stuffing the run, blah, blah, blah. One tooth or no tooth. He did play a good game, but still, it's a process with the running game. And teams that do have running backs understand that, except for the Colts. It's a grinder. Utilize him. You have him there for a fucking reason. And we know we've known what happens with Kirk. They're all mixing together now. Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, almost in the same sentence. You got to put them. A little disrespect at some of them. That might be a shot that they didn't deserve, but it's the truth. It's the truth. At what point do these guys cause more of at what point are they more of a threat to our own team rather than the opposing team? And Carson Wentz didn't play terrible, but the inconsistency of sticking to the run is going to haunt them. And if they don't get into the playoffs, I think it's going to come back to this game, because this is a game that I think they should have definitely won if they would have stuck to it. And then two, obviously the turnovers were insane on both teams. But this was their game to win. You got a Tom Brady team that's hurt, and they fell to come up. These are the types of games that people talk about. I don't want to say it was a gimme, because it's not a gimme. It's still Tampa Bay. They still had Tom Brady. They still had a pretty decent defense that seems to starting to get rolling. I know they gave up 30 plus points, but it's starting to get rolling. We're starting to see the mesh come together. And this is almost like basketball, right? Because there's only like 4 dominant teams in basketball, but it's like those LeBron days when it was like when they would go through a rough stretch and it was like, is LeBron going to get to the finals, blah, blah. And then once things started getting rolling and they started getting healthy, it was like, oh shit, we already know who's going to be in the finals. You almost get that feeling here in the NFC. It's kind of like, okay, now we're seeing the wheels start to turn in Tampa Bay. We start seeing the wheels turn there in Green Bay. Are these still going to be the same 2 teams in the NFC Championship? And that's a high possibility right now, especially the way Green Bay looked yesterday. But are they going to be better than just that NFC Championship buzz team? Or is Green Bay going to get it together? Can they stay healthy? And one of their left guard is out for the rest of the season, right? Torn ACL. We still don't know what's going on with Bakhtiari, the left tackle. We know what the left tackle position means, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. We know absolutely what the fuck that means. That means life. That means a backbone is completely gone if you don't have it. And somehow, some way, the MVP, the reigning MVP, and Aaron Rodgers is finding some way to pull out these wins. It's insane. It's incredible. It's beautiful. I mean, it does help when you have a stud like Davante Adams. Davante Adams may be the best receiver in the fucking league ever. I mean, that might be a little dramatic. That's a Monday overreaction, but that might be the best wide receiver that we've seen in a long fucking time. As far as athleticism, as far as route running. I mean, it doesn't take a guru to know that this guy's route running is beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch. And Aaron Rodgers being able to slice and dine and get it in the small and get him. I mean, the guy could be covered and Aaron Rodgers throws him open. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just something that Borba wishes Kirk Cousins could do with those elite wide receivers that he has. And I don't understand. I don't understand what my buddy's doing here. I mean, we can't be lining up under the wrong center and say we're top 5. Okay, I get it. I get Tom Brady's probably the only exception that can have a mistake like that. But you got to look at his history, right? You got to look at his resume. Kirk Cousins don't have that. We're still trying to figure out if primetime Kirk is even a thing, and apparently it's not, because 11 o'clock games don't matter, 2 o'clock games don't matter, night games don't matter, Monday games don't matter, Thursday games don't matter, COVID games on Thursdays and Wednesdays don't, or Tuesdays and Wednesdays don't matter. It's just the fuckery there that's going on in Minnesota. Fucking blow it up, start over, and get it rolling. I know JB's going to come here on Sunday and tell me about how we still have a chance. But I'm starting to think that I'm starting to think if you're the Minnesota fan base, I don't want to just point it on one guy. But we're going to have to start thinking about the fact that maybe there's a curse on Minnesota right now. And maybe it's because of John Anthony Borba. Maybe it is at @JBorba_ on Twitter. Maybe it is because of him. Maybe Minnesota fans should start looking at Borba and say, what the fuck? Maybe it's because he comes here on Sundays and gives me some lollygag bullshit about how, oh, well, Kirk Cousins is pretty good, and I like the way we line up. I mean, we might not line up incorrectly, but at some point during that game, we're going to bring it together, and you just got to wait. You got to wait for the W's. They're going to start coming. The W's are going to start coming over here. They're going to start coming. I'm telling you, you have to listen. I'm just telling you guys. That's how Borba comes. I'm like, buddy, let's have some energy. This is your favorite team. They're in the NFL. It's the Minnesota Vikings. When's the last time we've gotten one of those? Every time I got to start them, I don't even like the fucking Vikings. Maybe it's me too. Maybe I'm splashing the curse. Maybe I'm forcing the curse and Borba's just not taking the dunk. It's an easy layup, and my buddy just can't seem to figure it out. So as of right now, I am going to put this on John Borba. The Minnesota Vikings suck because John Borba fails to bring energy on Sunday for his own fucking team, his favorite team, his top 5 quarterback. And then we asked Borba, do we have anything Kirk Cousins? Like, do we have at least a keychain? Like, do we at least have him as our background on our screen? So I'm not telling you to get a jersey. You don't have to go get a jersey. But do we have anything Kirk Cousins? Like even the back, the screen on the phone. Like, do we have Kirk Cousins on there? Is he the guy? You got to have something that reps this guy. Is he the background on your Twitter or maybe your Facebook? Or maybe even have we ever even posted him on Instagram? I mean, like, have we even shown your display of love for Kirk Cousins outside of the bullshit that you've been putting out, that you have the courage to just type down and hit the little post button? I'm going to put this on you, JB. And speaking of posts, we have delusional drunks. Well, I don't want to call him a drunk. That's kind of fucked. That's a little too far. Sorry, Gabe. Gabe getting the confidence to type out a beautiful bet saying that the Eagles were going to win the NFC East. I would love that. I told him I'd love to take that bet. I'd love to take that donation. Cheers to that. Of course, never got a response because he's smart. He's not a complete idiot. Not a complete idiot. Kind of an idiot when it comes to that. Not a complete idiot, though. Didn't take the bet. We harassed him a little bit yesterday. He did apologize and admit that he was drunk whenever that comment came out of his mouth. But we know, drunk talk, drunk text, drunk comment, drunk post isn't always the brightest in the world, right? So I had to forgive him for that. I had to forgive him for that. I do come on Sundays and rant about bullshit, and on Mondays talk about bullshit. So I get it. Respect. But let's not do that. Let's not throw out bets like that, buddy, because we will gladly take your donations. We are bettors over here. That's what we do.
Cheers and bet.
That might be my favorite beat. That might be my favorite beat. Baker Mayfield needs to get the fuck out of Cleveland. Nobody wants him there anymore. At this point, whenever my buddy Logan Raider retweeted someone that said, how do you continue to get worse? It was that's not exactly how it was typed out. I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what I read between the lines. And when my buddy, the faithful Logan Raider, he loves his Cleveland Browns, man. He's been barking since barking wasn't even allowed. I mean, he was barking when there was absolutely zeros on the winning side, on the winning column for the Cleveland Browns. As of right now, though, Cleveland is fed up. Cleveland is done. I think they should have benched Baker Mayfield there going into the second half. Why they didn't, I have no fucking idea. Case Keenum couldn't have been any worse. I don't think. Case Keenum couldn't have been even worse. Even that touchdown was an ugly throw. It was almost, they almost didn't even count it. But Baker's got to get out of town. And I argue for him for this last year because I was kind of delusional, like Borba. I want the Browns to be so good. I wanted Odell Beckham to be so good. I wanted Odell Beckham in the playoffs. I wanted to see Jarvis Landry succeed. I wanted to see that duo Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt ball out week to week to week. But yet they have a guy like myself that could probably make those same interception throws as Baker Mayfield. And you could probably give me like maybe, like 2 G's a week or something simple like that. So it's at this point, I think you have to shut Baker Mayfield down. You have to save him from himself because as of right now, you're not putting the best product on the field. And I think the fans are starting to feel that. You're not putting the best product on the field because there's no fucking way. There's absolutely no way that Case Keenum is worse than what we're seeing on Sundays. There's no way. No way that they're going into practices and they're saying Baker Mayfield looks so much better with all those injuries on him. And you can use injuries as an excuse, and maybe he'll be able to play as a starting quarterback somewhere next year. That's okay. Go ahead and use him. But as of right now, if you're going to put the best product on the field, you're not at practice and you say, this guy over here, with all these injuries, all these fuckeries, no ankle, no knee, no ribs, no shoulders, this fucking guy over here is better than this guy over here. There's no way. There's no way Case Keenum is that bad. Because if Case Keenum is that bad, why is he even a quarterback? Why is he even a backup quarterback? Why is he even still getting paid by the NFL if he's that bad from what we're seeing on Sundays? There's absolutely no fucking way that they're thinking that. No fucking way. No way. And if Baker Mayfield comes out and starts this Sunday, I might lose my shit. I could care less. I'm not a Browns fan. I just read and react. That's all I do. I view and react. That's what I do. That's all I'm doing. And from what I see, from an idiot over here, which I don't think it takes much to see when someone is not doing good at whatsoever. I mean, 10 points will tell it all. 10 points with all those weapons. It's just like, somehow, some way I get back to Kirk here, but all those fucking weapons, and we don't even have a winning record. What are we doing? At what point? And yesterday on the show, I called out. I said, at what point are we going to start blaming this defense? Because they have yet to show up. We haven't seen them show up. But here they are. Here they are, balling out, trying to give Baker one more life. Cats. Baker Mayfield has more lives than fucking cats, man. He's on his 10th life right now. He's outlived every cat in the world. He's on his 10th life. And I think it's time to pull the plug. It's time to pull the plug. And if you want to use the injuries as an excuse, that's cool. Cleveland, fucking do it. Just say he's too hurt to perform right now. Is Baker Mayfield afraid that Case Keenum's going to look better, so it's going to hurt his money down the road? Probably. But use the injuries. Just say you're too hurt. You're ruining this fucking Cleveland potential playoff team right now. It's insane. We see the same thing in Pittsburgh. Big Ben has ruined this team this year, I think. Now, I was trying to give the chance. I got caught in the loop here. I got caught in the loop of the love that I have for my father-in-law, who's a diehard Steelers fan. And I just wanted to root for them too. It was one of these emotional decisions. I wanted to root for them. That way my father-in-law can enjoy football a little bit more on Sundays, be a little more cheerful throughout the week when the Steelers win. That's what I wanted. That's what I was putting in my head. So whenever I watched them play, I said, okay, there's potential here. This defense is going to get it together. When Fitzpatrick comes back, they're going to get it together. They're going to be able to stuff the run. TJ Watt's on the COVID list from what I see this morning, so that's not going to help for the next week. But I thought, in my heart, I felt, here they come. Here they go. The Steelers are going to make it run because they're going to run the ball. They're going to give the ball to Najee Harris. They're going to do something because this division is staying wide open. And a team that's probably 9-8 might get in. Why not the Steelers? And I just think that Big Ben is ruining them. He should have retired before the season started. He should have allowed them to regroup and come back. Maybe Mason Rudolph definitely isn't the answer, but they could have at least played out some options there at the quarterback position. And then maybe Mike Tomlin's record of never having a losing season would not be at risk right now. So as of right now, I would like to put all this. I would love to give this game ball of just fuckery to Big Ben for potentially ruining Mike Tomlin's undefeated career as an NFL. Not undefeated, but never having a losing season. Fucking Big Ben. You fucking did it. You fucking ruined it. You probably ruined my father-in-law's week going forward. You probably ruined the rest of his NFL season. Every time I see Cheech on Twitter, my boy fucking wants the guy out of town. But everybody else in Pittsburgh saying the same thing, but except for the Pittsburgh organization, because at the end of the day, it comes down to love and passion. And you want to see Big Ben exit in the right way because that's what they feel he deserves. What a story. What a fucking story. And now he's going to exit, ruining Mike Tomlin's never losing record. So go, let's fucking Big Ben. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could be Cleveland. You could have a really fucking great team, and then you could be fucking it up. So you could be Baker Mayfield. And I'm going to end that shit with that. Okay, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining me. JB, come see me whenever, baby. We ready. Don't forget to check out TapeRanchRoswell.com. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. And this